This is Word on the Square, a podcast from City University's Centre of Podcasting Excellence. On this show, we hear from the people who are shaping the audio industry. In the What's Hot Seat this week, we're hearing from someone who's at the forefront of radio, podcasting and all things audio, Matt Deegan. Matt is the founder of audio consultancy firm Folder Media, and also co-founded the award-winning children's radio station Fun Kids. He is also the man behind the British Podcast Awards here in the UK, acting as arguably one of the biggest breakthroughs in the world of podcasting. The award has continued to mushroom since its creation and shows no sign of stopping, and has spread internationally, forming the Podcast Awards in Australia. Matt is also the presenter on The Media Podcast, which acts as a guide to TV, radio and the world of press and marketing, as well as writing his personal Substack, which discusses the world of podcasting and audio. His career has seen twists, turns and unexpected outcomes. In this interview with Sandy Waugh, he talks over his tips, tricks and first discusses how you get people to listen to your podcast.
You hope that you make a great thing and everyone finds it. That would be lovely. It just isn't the case anymore, particularly that there's so much media. You know, everything that you consume, telly, radio, print, digital, websites, social media, our attention is all over the place. So how do you cut through and get people to listen to a thing you're trying to do and make it exciting enough for them to probably do quite a bit of effort, find it in a podcast app, follow it and listen to it when a new episode comes out?
Because when we were designing this course, one of the things we were confronting was actually to be a podcast professional, this is a really multifaceted industry. You've got to know an awful lot of things about an awful lot of things.
Yeah, and also we're all in the sales business, and it's sort of annoying to think that, you'd like to just do the one thing that you really enjoy, but we've all got to sell stuff ourselves, our ideas, relationships, everything is an aspect of sales in our lives. And I think podcasting is that. So what I think a lot about with our clients is where are your listeners? Physically and metaphorically, what social platforms do they use, what are they interested in, how can you reach them with your message? And different groups are in different places. And the job of a marketeer is to understand your audience, and you should understand your audience if you're making a good show. That extends to the marketing for that show.
This is one of the key areas where it is different from radio. I was in radio for decades and never really had to know about the audience.
Someone else was head of marketing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm the same. I was in radio a long time, and in the analog radio world, particularly where there wasn't a lot of competition, there were big marketing budgets and tele ads and big billboards. And again, even for them, it's more complicated now. I think what's interesting with shows, because there are so many podcasts, there isn't a mysterious marketing department to do your work for you. And also, you are probably the expert of that show. If you make something and you've built it from scratch, you are the expert. So maybe they should look to you to be the one to work out how to market it. I think there are some very obvious things you can do. Clearly, if you've got money, that helps. Not essential, but obviously it helps. You can buy space. But if you can't buy space, you can't afford it, then you've got to work out how you can convince someone to help promote your show. So what value can you provide them? Maybe that's a guest from your show going on to something that they do. And maybe it's writing a blog post or a news article for a website. What have you got that's special that someone else can take and help promote your podcast?
And at the point where you're launching a product, giving that real time and effort to think about getting the name, the brand, the image, getting all of that right at the start. Yes, and also do it in advance. So everyone's got lead times. So if you're doing something for Vogue, the print times, the lead time is probably 3 months. Even if you're doing something for an online publication, they'll probably want everything the day before. And when I say everything, have you got all the right assets? Have you got great headshots of the guests? Actually, a lot of people say to me, I'm sick of getting podcast art and headshots. I want the presenters doing something. I want an interesting picture. So, what have you got in your Dropbox that you can send over? Have you got a good description of the show, of the hosts? Have you got transcripts? Have you got the best quotes pulled out? Have you got videos of the quotes you pulled out so that they can put those on a website? Because some websites, Mail Online, something like that, they like running videos because they run adverts before them. So if you give them great video, maybe they're more likely to write about you because you're helping them do their job. Matt, thank you very much.
No worries.
Matt Deegan there, speaking with City lecturer in journalism, Sandy Waugh. Stay tuned, because next week, a conversation with Hannah Ajala, the producer behind Love Janessa, reveals even more about podcasting and audio success. Thanks for listening, and remember to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss the chance to hear from the industry professionals.